India, largest country on the world, largest economy, and for us important your opinion. So also India have a deepest culture and historical aspects, and it was noted that in the first 8 months of 2023, Kazakhstan exported 263.5 thousand tons of crude oil and petroleum products to India. This means that it's 5.6 times lower than the figure for 8 months of 2022. It was 1.4 million tons. Why it's happening? How you think? Was that influenced by the fact that Russia increased oil export to India? Please.
Thank you very much, first of all, to Kazinform for this interview. It's very important that the interactions are there between the two countries. On the crude oil exports from Kazakhstan and imports in India, India imports is the second largest importer of crude oil in the world. And as you said, we are the fastest growing large economy and with increased energy demands. And in India, mostly the private sector units and the public sector units are permitted to import oil from the open market. So wherever they get good price and on favorable terms, they import. So we don't control or reduce from any country, increase from any country, but no, we are always interested in diversifying the energy supplies. At the same time, we give free hand to our importers.
Okay, thank you. Last year, Kazakhstan exported about 500,000 tons of wheat gluten to India. It's very interesting. Why wheat gluten and not pure wheat or flour?
No, very interesting question. See, I must tell you, India is the second largest producer of food grains in the world. And we don't import any food grains like wheat or flour for that matter. But this particular gluten, it might be interesting to one particular industry, maybe a bakery industry or some other industry in India. So we import gluten not only from Kazakhstan, from other countries also. So that might be the reason we were importing gluten from Kazakhstan, which meets standards and then requirements in India.
Thank you very much. So India has reduced the volume of smartphones exported to our country by 27.6%, 27.4%. What is the influence of sanctions imposed on Russia, or does it indicate a decrease in the solvency of Kazakhstanis? How do you think?
No. See, India was an importer of mobile phones 3 years back. Today, last year, India has exported in the first 9 months of 2023 about 10.5 billion worth mobile phones to the world. And we have Apple, we have Samsung, we have several Chinese brands like Xiaomi, etc., produced in India now. So it all depends on whether the importers here, if they are interested or not. But it is not any other external reason for reduction. Number one. Number two, our semiconductor industry is also coming up, which will make phones more affordable. After all, consumer wants the phone at an affordable price. So India can provide these phones. I think in future, these imports of electronic goods, particularly mobile phones, will be increasing to Kazakhstan.
Okay, thank you. The volume passenger cars exported to us from your country has increased by 13.6 times. In 8 months, 1.2 thousand cars entered. However, Chinese cars are more popular among Kazakhstanis than Indian cars. How much do you think Indian cars are suitable for the climate of Kazakhstan? In general, is the production of models adapted to our market, or modification of current models adapted to the harsh climate are taking place?
We would like our Indian passenger cars more and more in Kazakhstan. I'm happy that there is an increase in the passenger cars from India. Indian passenger car industry is 40 billion worth per annum, and we are looking at increasing the number of cars. See, Indian passenger cars go as far as Africa even by exports, but our domestic market growing at 6% itself is no adequate for the production. But Indian passenger car industry is very much interested in exporting, and climate etc. should not be an impediment, because it can be overcome very easily. And I think the transport challenges etc. are there which have to be met. You mentioned countries like your neighboring countries have larger share because of the ease of access, ease of transport, but Indian cars will quality wise or affordability wise will be far better, and our car industry is very much interested in sending more cars to Kazakhstan.
Oh, very interesting too. Thank you. So after the problems with the Caspian Pipeline Consortium, Kazakhstan began to pay attention to alternative oil export routes. What partnership mechanisms can India offer of this context? In general, your country is the largest oil consumer market on the Eurasian continent after China. Can you tell us how much oil can India export from our country per year, taking into account the logistics specifics of the quality of Kazakhstan's oil, or is the current volume enough for your country?
So this is one area where we can collaborate more. Particularly you have the oil resources, and Indian companies and consulting companies in this area have a lot of expertise, technical expertise. So your resources and then our technical expertise and investments from our side can really strengthen the relationship. And not that we didn't have any presence, we had a presence earlier, but we would like to see more collaboration on this front. As regards the export of oil from here, see, India, as you said, not in Eurasia, we are the second largest importer of energy crude in the world. Though we diversified the sources, Kazakhstan is so near and so rich in oil resources, we would like this collaboration to be more stronger.
Okay, thank you. I think it's very important for us also. Next question. According to same sources, India covers a third of the world's drug market with its products. However, the fact that the drug DOC1 marks that caused to death of 18-year-old child in Uzbekistan greatly overshadowed the reputation of Indian pharmaceuticals. Now, anti-vaxxers are increasingly using such data as an argument against vaccinations. In this context, has India increased control over drug production? Can we say that Kazakhstanis have all reasons to use Indian medicines without concern?
I can tell you, in Kazakhstan, Indian pharmaceutical products can be used without any concern. Why? So the incident, unfortunate incident you mentioned, was an aberration. And government of India has taken immediately the steps to ensure that even the active ingredients stage also the inspections are done. So it is in place. India, is known as pharmacy of the world, and is also vaccine capital of the world. And we, not only in the Asian continent or Central Asia, India provides generic medicines worldwide. You go to USA, there over 40% of generic medicines are imported from India, Latin America, Africa. So there is no concern. That was only an isolated incident which you mentioned. And recently Kazakhstan has imported MMR vaccines which were required, and they were all from India without any concern. We also are proposing that we should have a collaboration, because you are technically you are superior in Central Asia, and you have manpower who are trained. So why not you have a joint production of pharmaceuticals and to have in made in Kazakhstan? That was we were proposing to your side, and if that comes, the confidence etc. will increase, and then you can become a hub for distribution of pharmaceuticals to the entire region.
Okay, thank you. Next question. India's experience in the field of defense is important for Kazakhstan. An example of this is the holding of a joint anti-terrorist training camp. Until February 2022, the two countries had similar arms import policies. Western publications recently wrote that India gave up Russian weapons and withdrew a multi-billion-dollar contract. Can you tell that this information is true? What percentage has the volume of military arsenals imported from Russia has been decreased in 2022 and 2023? What countries' products have been replaced with? Yes.
See, geopolitics decide, and particularly after COVID, everyone is looking at diversifying the sources and not to have break in supply chains. Okay, so we have very close cooperation with Kazakhstan on defense. We do joint exercises like Kazind, we do training, and then even couple of our officers are at your National Defense University teaching English. That is a close cooperation we have with Kazakhstan. And as regards the arms and then etc., see, historically we were importing from countries, but there is no diversification. That doesn't mean that you are depending less or importing less. At the same time, we have offered to Kazakhstan, because India today is exporting arms. In the past we were only importing. So as soon as we grew to the exporting level, and then we are asking Kazakhstan to have their technology or finances to have joint collaboration in production of arms and weapons.
Next question. What is the role of Kazakhstan on this format? India is one of the leading markets on the continent in the field of computer programming and mechanical engineering, pharmaceuticals. How much is India ready to share technologies with Kazakhstan in these areas? And are there any plans in the future to open joint ventures for smartphones assembly, machines building, pharma or medicine productions?
India plus C5 is a format which has begun in 2019 at the foreign ministers level, and now in 2022 we have elevated it to the level of heads of state or heads of government. So this particular platform provides for regular exchange of ideas and views at the highest level of the leadership. And we are very happy. We are seeing much progress in our cooperation. As you rightly mentioned, I always see that India and Kazakhstan or Central Asian countries have potential in cooperation in healthcare, in IT, in space programs, and in the infrastructure development. So we are looking forward, and we have offered to Kazakhstan during the visit of our national security advisor, because now Kazakhstan is also very good at digital payments, Kaspi. I believe you have over 90% of cashless transactions. You are leader here in this region. India is leader in the world. We have the highest percentage of digital payments in the world. So world 60% of digital transactions happening in the world take place in India. We have one system called UPI.
UPI.
Yeah, it's a product, it's a platform which we offer to Kazakhstan, because it provides interoperability between the banks. So once you have UPI, anywhere, any bank you have an account, you can pay anywhere in Kazakhstan. So we have offered this one, we help. And also we have much collaboration potential in mines and minerals. You are resource of all the periodic table elements, and particularly rare earth minerals are very important today, and India will be very keen to help survey and also exploit those minerals, even processing. So we have offered, and then we look forward to the cooperation from Kazakhstan in this particular area, because it is not only for this region, for entire region. The rare earth minerals are required everywhere, particularly in fighting climate change, particularly when you are getting into semiconductors, or when you are getting into the EV, electric vehicles.
Thank you. UPI it look like a WeChat in China. Yeah, look like WeChat.
No, it's only a banking transactions platform.
Look like Kaspi.
Yeah,
okay.
Kaspi, but it is for the entire thing. It's a platform. So we offered it to several countries when we were leading G20, and similarly we offered to Kazakhstan.
Okay, thank you. There is an opinion that labor is cheaper in India due to the large population. Is it really like that? From this point of view, how profitable is it for your investors to open joint venture in our country?
See, India has over 30 million people outside in the world, and they provide professional and blue collar jobs also. You go to Gulf region, you have 9 million Indians, and every country in the Gulf, they say they attribute their progress and development to Indian workers. So because they are law abiding, they are very professional, and they are able to go out and then work. Not only here, we have in USA, IT engineers, we have entrepreneurs. So that is the reason Indian workers or professionals are very attractive, and that is the reason people take. For example, there is a joint collaboration in Kazakhstan. I'm sure the joint collaboration would like Indians to come and then work. They will be very professional, they will be law abiding. So in that way, I don't say nowadays everywhere the rates are same, and then I don't use that word cheap.
Okay, thank you. In 2021, Minister of External Affairs of India made a proposal to President Qasem-Jomart Tokayev on mutual recognition of vaccine certificates of the two countries. Is the same proposal being implemented? What vaccines from Kazakhstan have already pasted certification in India?
Oh yes. After the proposal was given, it was mutually agreed by both the countries, and that has made the very smoother movement. Today, as we speak, I can say last year, Kazakhstan has seen about 80,000 Indian visitors. Smooth travel, and then even Kazakh citizens are visiting India for tourism, for health, for looking for experiencing the history of India, etc.
For business also. Yes,
for business. Yeah. So that has been accepted, and our COVID certificates are mutually recognized.
Okay. Thank you very much. That's all questions what we want to know from you. Thank you for your time. I hope that we will be meet in future also. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for this interview, and then I'll keep in touch with you.
Thank you.